Hi YouTube, welcome back to WTF RC Cars. So I keep getting a few questions on the Flysky Noble and telemetry, so hopefully this will clear a few things up for people. So let's see if we can fire it up.
Welcome to Noble.
So we've got this one fitted to a XB4 2020 X-ray car. It's a 1/10 buggy. This is going to be fun because that screen's going to drive the phone absolutely crazy. Let's see if I can drop the brightness down a little bit. Yeah, that's a bit better. Right, so what we have is the Flysky Noble NB4 transmitter. We have the Flysky FG, I think it's FG-R4, the full size, the bigger one of the, I think they make 3 receivers now, but it's the biggest with the external antenna. We've got an external voltage checking the power off the battery itself. It will also then read the BEC voltage that's getting supplied from the ECS, and an external temperature sensor monitoring the motor temperature, because I'm just setting this car up. I will run it without the sensors once it's all set up and all up and running, but you'll have to excuse the rat's nest of wires while I'm actually setting it up, but here we go. So if we see if I can get to focus on screen. So if I turn the car on, you then see that we've got signal strength, we've got the transmitter voltage, receiver voltage, so that's the BEC volts. We've then got the external voltage, which is the combined voltage of, it's a 2S battery pack, so it's the combined voltage of both those. Now, you've got the temp sensor that's on there. You've got the voltage sensor there. So the voltage sensor goes into the sense port on the receiver. The wire comes out into the voltage sensor, then the temperature sensor daisy chains off that. So we've got the, let's see if I can move that now. So we've got the temperature sensor just running down and then just sat on top of the motor, that's touching. We've got the voltage sensor for the external voltage, and the actual pins that come with the Flysky voltage, well, external voltage receiver. On the end of the wires you've got like little probes, and they're designed to just push under the insulation on the wires, so it saves you having to solder them on. If you do want to make it permanent, you can solder it anywhere as long as it's onto the actual main wires to the battery pack itself. If we go back to this, so if we click on the sensors, you can then display all sensors. So you can see you've got external voltage, you've got temperature sensor, and then you also get the noise interference and everything. RX voltage again is the BEC, what the ECS is supplying to the receiver. You can go into sensors, and then you've got whatever sensor you want to display on screen. So we can swap signal strength out. Yeah, I've got that unselectable. So you can swap signal strength out, and you can go external voltage, temperature. Then if you change that one, you can set your maximum alarm temp, so min max, and you can set a lower one, but not really interested on that on the temperature. But if you then go to external voltage, you can set a lower alarm for what you want, because you don't want to run your LiPo battery pack all the way flat, so it comes in really handy for that. The high alarm, if like on this one you are running the high voltage LiPos, and you've got a race where you're not allowed to charge them full, so if you're only allowed to charge them to a standard LiPo, you can have your maximum alarm set, so it'll warn you if you power your car on and the voltage is high. You can actually either take the battery off and discharge it down to what voltage you're allowed to run, or you can just run car about a bit and flatten it. All really handy. And you can set it so it'll vibrate and set off an alarm to warn you for any of those. Let's have a look. Settings, units. So you can change it to Fahrenheit if that's what you prefer. And then if we go back into sensors then, display sensors. So you've got the same temperature in Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. Choose sensor, temperature, and then so you can set a max temperature. I think these are set at around, I think they say keep them below 105. So if you set the alarm just below that, then you're going to know if it goes off. And again, so if you go back, we can then see transmitter voltage 4.12 volt, receiver BEC 6.03, the actual 2S LiPo pack is at 7.54 and engine temperature at 21.4. Really easy to set up, and it does fit really well. Let's turn that fan off because that gets annoying.
Signal lost. Shutting down.
Right. So let's see if I can get a few good shots of how everything's actually wired in. So if I can focus it, so you can see these little probes just push under the actual insulation on wires, and they both plug in to, if you can see on there, if it'll focus, so you can see which one you're meant to be plugging it into. It's the very top one if you've got it upside down like I have, but it's the only way it'll fit in this car. So the sensor wire is that one right at the very top. That one comes out and goes in to your first sensor, and then any other sensor daisy chains off that. So we've got that one running down, and it comes out here and straight into that one. So if you want to connect another one, you'd feed off the end of that. But yeah, really easy to set up. The Noble NB4 is a fantastic little transmitter. Really responsive as well. But the telemetry and all the separate alarms is fantastic. So easy to set up, so easy to use, and I think the most I've paid for any sensors is about £11 delivered, and some of them as low as £4 and £5. But they do magnetic speed, optical speed, temperature, external voltage. Not sure if there's any others yet. I know Flysky do a GPS unit, but I don't know if that's now not compatible with the Noble NB4 yet. I know they do a 8-channel upgrade kit, which that's another fairly cheap add-on, and that just plugs into the second slot down. I think it says servo, and that basically gives you another 4 channels to use. Not much use on a buggy, but if you're building a, I don't know, one of the fancy Tamiya trucks with all lighting kits on and everything, and the trailer hitch and all that lot, probably be more use to you. I do know, as with most RC transmitters, the more channels you add a little bit of latency, because obviously it's polling 8 channels instead of 4 then. But the standard 4-channel setup is fantastic. Really fast. I mean, this is not the fastest servo, but it's pretty quick at 0.07. But it's absolutely ample for running one of these 1/10 buggies. Right, thanks for watching WTF RC Cars. If you like and subscribe. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. You can hit the notification bell to be notified of when I upload a new video. So, any comments, leave below, and thanks for watching. See you again next time.